fashion themselves on social media as this legion of superheroes, this incoming administration. Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., et cetera, et cetera. I guess we're...
It's the Marvel Universe versus second-rate DC.
On your left, Cap. On your left.
Donald Trump has completely destroyed these people. The mainstream media across the board has been not just hemorrhaging viewers, but absolutely positively having a never-ending meltdown, a breakdown over the past 2-3 weeks now. And it's getting worse. First, we have Morning Joe. Then we have a hilarious CNN meltdown. We have all sorts of stuff to talk about today because it is wild to see all this stuff play out. By the way, huge shout out. This year's Quartering Present Christmas cookbook full of hilarious meme recipes, 50 different recipes for the Trump lover, the Republican, or the good-spirited individual in your life. You got stuff like a threat to our Democ cookies and Mega King's Red Wave Punch. And you also have our summer edition, both full of almost 100 recipes in total, available at tailgatesfortrump.com. Link in the description down below to go get yours. It's the perfect gift. Think about that office Christmas party or that triggered lib in your family that you want to make them have a better day. Anyway, Morning Joe suffers humiliating defeat as show turns off all social media comments after they were brutally roasted for Trump flip-flop. This is what happens. The chickens are coming home to roost, so to speak. You have cultivated this audience of insane anti-Trumpism. Trump is, the bad guy from WW2. Trump's going to do this. Trump's going to do that. They backed themselves into a corner where they literally couldn't, they had no more insane things to say. They already said it all. And so what do they do now? They've lost 60-70% of their viewers. Look at this. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski dismissed the criticism on their show after meeting with Trump, saying that there is a massive disconnect between social media and the real world. However, if ratings are to be believed, the real world and social media may not be as disconnected as they think. As a morning show that starts every day at 6 a.m., viewership is supposed to climb as the day's episode goes on. However, Nielsen ratings show that 145,000 viewers turned off MSNBC in the 7 a.m. hour just after Scarborough and Brzezinski discussed the meeting, as they went from 839,000 viewers to 694,000. And to put that in perspective, I had a video yesterday, just a single 10-minute video, that has 450,000 views. All right? I don't know, the insane amount of advertising that goes into these shows, but like, who's even watching these? How do they even sustain themselves? By the way, what's more, 38% of their audience in the 25 to 54 demographic, that's the key demo, tuned out. The show briefly rebounded in the 8 a.m. hour with 775,000 viewers, but then it went back down at 9 a.m. As recently as October, MSNBC morning anchor was averaging high as 1.14 million viewers throughout the 1.4 hours. Now, 4 hours, not 1.4. On top of this, MSNBC is now being spun off by Comcast so they can sell it. Things have gotten so bad at MSNBC, TV network MSNBC, and CNBC to be spun off by Comcast. Why do you spin them off? So you can sell them. So things have gotten so bad that the owners now, what's wild is they still value the company at $7 billion, which is literally impossible to believe. Comcast will keep the NBC broadcast television network and its film and television studios and theme parks, as well as Peacock streaming service. But MSNBC, CNBC, USAE, Sci-Fi, and the Golf Channel are all being spun off to be sold, presumably. We see real opportunity to invest and build additional scale, and I'm excited about the growth opportunities this transition will unlock, Mr. Lazarus said in the announcement. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're just doing this so that they can sell it. Everybody's been saying MSNBC is going to be sold. They sent Joe Scarborough and Mika down to Mar-a-Lago to beg to kiss Trump's ring. That didn't go over well. Walt Disney also considered spinning off its cable news networks, but ended up scrapping that plan. Probably going to continue to do so. By the way, don't forget our wonderful 12 days of Christmas Advent calendar. They are starting to ship this week. It's basically no longer a pre-order. So make sure you get yours now. We only ordered 3,000. I think we've already got 1,000 gone. So as Christmas gets closer, you're not going to want to miss out. Link in the description for that as well. Let's look at some melties. CNN complaining that the people around are comparing Trump, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard to superheroes.
Look at this shot right now coming in live. We got Musk there. We got, I don't recognize everybody. There's President Trump, Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, who is also thought to possibly have a position coming in the administration. Senator Ted Cruz on the left with the shades. Is that Ronnie Jackson on the right with the hat? I can't really tell. What do you make of this? They fashion themselves on social media as this legion of superheroes, this incoming administration. Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., et cetera, et cetera.
I don't think they've said that. I don't think anybody in the Trump administration has said that.
I guess we're adding pictures and names. I know you now you're looking at me like you mean the Legion of Doom. But
it's the Marvel Universe versus second-rate DC, but that's...
I mean, if I understood what that meant, I would probably have a better opinion about it.
But
if we're talking about
Musk, talk to me about Musk. What do you think about the role he's playing in this administration?
Listen, this is one of the most successful people that the world has ever known, and the ability to build businesses and think outside the box and be an entrepreneur. That's a voice that the president really values. But when you look at this totality, this kind of theme that they all think they're superheroes now, there's a little bit more swagger with the Republican Party now because they did win the White House, the House, and the Senate.
I don't think that, again, I don't think they are voicing that upon themselves. The media might be doing that. I certainly don't view them as superheroes. Then look at the cope on the female anchor here on CNN last night. Scott Jennings is an absolute monster.
Scott Jennings. Well, I said on this network at the Republican National Convention that the Republican Party was now the fun party. And lo and behold, I was right. And apparently many pro athletes agree, from the Raiders' Brock Bowers to the Lions' Adarius Smith, to the Titans' Calvin Ridley, to UFC fighter John Jones, to soccer's Christian Pulisic just moments ago. Athletes are doing the Trump dance to celebrate their scores and wins. And why shouldn't they? Trump is back. America is back. And once again,
we don't need to say
it's cool to be a Republican. Chuck, Julie,
we need to stand
Watch
up.
her face.
Julie, I invite you again.
She's so mad.
We're back, baby. We're back, baby.
It is true that you guys have sex parties that we cannot compete with. You definitely are the much more
I can hear
fun
the jealousy
parties.
in your voice.
Oh, yeah. Matt Gaetz sex parties. You're so right.
It was pretty.
Cope. Absolute cope. By the way, pretty sure those are mostly Democrats at those Diddy parties that you guys love so much. I mean, the entirety. You see Politico seething about Donald and Elon. Donald and Elon can't get enough of each other. Elon is probably the only other man in the world who can truly relate to President Trump, said one person who watched them interact. Donald Trump's staff has privately grumbled about the new house guest at Mar-a-Lago, who won't seem to leave, while the company in question, Elon Musk, continues to step out ahead of Trump on matters both policy and personal. But even as some Trump allies are stunned, the new friendship has continued, and even Musk's influence to have real limitations, proves to have real limitations, the incoming president still can't get enough of it. Well, think about it. How many other billionaires who have built businesses, does he get a chance to talk to that aren't like Mark Cuban melty people? You know, I mean, I think like here you have, obviously they're coping this thing. Well, here are some things that Musk has been defeated on. He pushed a Rick Scott. That didn't work. Well, again, Donald Trump didn't pick that individual, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Trump's selection of Brandon Carr, though, as Federal Communications Commission chair this week had Musk's fingerprints on it. Carr's advocacy had lined up closely with Musk's interests throughout 2024. What, free speech? Free speech? Is that supposed to be bad? And then you have the Daily Beast coming out saying, Morning Joe making nice with Trump isn't the problem. The backlash is. I don't think that they made nice with him, to be honest with you. I just don't think they did. And to be totally honest, the people that run that show, Morning Joe or whatever, they're going to need Trump on their show. He's the biggest ticket in town. So if you can't get him or Elon Musk or RFK Jr. or any of these people on your show, what do you have to offer? Empty criticism? For years, I defended colleagues against complaints from conservative friends alleging liberal bias in the press. With this past election, any semblance of objectivity flew out the window. The Daily Beast is admitting defeat. The Daily Beast is saying, you're right, liberal media is completely biased. There were too many examples to count, but the biggest was obviously the lack of serious coverage for President Joe Biden's decline, which I had heard rumors about well over a year ago. I wouldn't call myself one of the most connected journalists. The Morning Joe crew has known Joe Biden for years. Could have been well positioned to pick up on any slips in his mental acuity long before the rest of us. That wasn't the only story I believe mainstream media lost the public's trust. There was a lack of in-depth coverage of issues that matter to working class voters. There was dismissiveness when it came to major outlets treated seemingly credible allegations of bad behavior against second gentleman Doug Emhoff amid broader fawning narrative that he embodied the ideal of modern married man. To be clear, I consider Donald Trump's track record with women highly problematic, but I'm sure you've heard that saying about glass houses and stones. Kamala Harris and her supporters made Trump's treatment of women central to their candidacy. As such, she should have been willing to engage with the claims made against her husband head on and refuted them in detail if they were not true. You have even the Daily Beast now turning on them. CNN melting down. The View melting down every single day. Morning Joe turning off comments. MSNBC as a whole being sold. Absolute, complete, and utter failure. You absolutely love to see that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to pick up your Trump cookbook for this Christmas and get your order in now for the 12 days of Christmas Advent calendar. Check out Amazon. Check out anywhere else. This is the highest quality coffee gift on the market. I stand by that. They are now shipping. So go ahead and put your order in today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.